First question's from Dave Vassegh. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Matt. Just curious how this spring has gone for you. Does it feel different than in years past?
Spring's gone good so far. Obviously, it's a little different. Fans aren't, allowed inside of the practice facilities. So there's not as much crowd, not as much running around to different fields and stuff. But other than that, it's, just everybody trying to get ready for the season, get their bodies right, get their minds right, and just get ready for, this year being a full 162 games.
I guess more specifically for you and your standing on the roster with Kike and Jock departing and the young guys, including yourself, getting an opportunity to have an impact on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot more opportunity for chances to play this year. Get in the lineup, be on the roster. I think you're always just fighting for a spot, always trying to prove yourself. That's going up through the minor leagues. That's always the player that I was, is just trying to prove myself. And it's no different now that, I've been in the big leagues for the past couple of years, on and off. And I think it's just always going out there and showing that you belong and proving yourself.
Have you done anything different in preparation for this season since you've been getting, it looks like, a lot of time in the outfield more than the infield?
Yeah, we worked a lot on explosive movements this year, getting to top speed a little bit quicker. Worked hard with Eric Yaveron, our strength coach here that was here in Stoneburg. We worked hard this offseason of not necessarily trying to add strength, just trying to add explosive movements and being able to get good reads in the outfield and get that good first step and being able to get out of the box a little bit quicker and get down the line and hit doubles and all of that stuff. Just trying to be, a little bit faster than what I have been in the past.
Thanks, Matt.
Next question's from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Matt, before the spring training, how much right field had you played in your life, really?
I played a decent amount of right field in Tulsa when I was in AA in 17. I played more right field than I did left field that year. That wasn't a lot, but I think outfield's very similar. The ball moves different off of lefties and righties. So in left field, you got to know how the ball slices and against a lefty, and right field, you got to know how the ball slices or holds up in the wind for a right-handed hitter. So they're both very similar positions. It's just about knowing the angles and getting good reads.
It was last year just sort of difficult to get on track, just giving the stop and start and 60-game season and all that.
Yeah, it was a tough year, but everybody was faced with that same adversity. Just trying to be ready as much as possible. And it was a little bit tough last year, obviously. Not getting as many consistent at bats, and you need your A guys going every single night in a shortened season. But my goal is to be one of those guys this year that, Doc can count on, the team can count on to go out there and put together a really good at bat and be reliable out there on defense.
After a week or two of games here, have you noticed anything different with the balls at all?
Not so much in the games yet. I think you can kind of notice it a little bit during batting practice. It's hard to judge just because the environment that we're in here in Arizona, it's dry. The wind's blowing a lot the last couple of weeks, so it's hard to really get a good judge of exactly how far the ball is really carrying off the bat as opposed to years past. On defense and stuff like that, I haven't really noticed as much of a change yet, but still it's early and it's just early.
Next question's from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Hey, Matt, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the pandemic shutting sports down. What do you remember about that night and the couple of days after?
Just all kind of happened so fast. I think it was a night game here when we found out. We were coming in from the game, coming in from the dugout, and we saw the news that NBA had kind of been shut down, and we figured that probably most of the other sports were going to follow. And it just happened so fast. And now that, some protocols have been put in place, and hopefully things are starting to trend in the right direction as long as we keep doing our jobs and following the protocols.
How long did you stay in Arizona? Did you head home? Did you head to LA? What did you do for that stretch of downtime?
I stayed in Arizona the whole time. There were a couple guys that stayed back and continued to hit on the field. Me, Kike, Muncie, a couple other guys, McKinstry, were staying out here, and we were still able to get onto the fields at Camelback and stay prepared as possible, just because there were, a lot of rumors floating around when we were going to play, and we just wanted to be ready when it was time.
Has coronavirus affected your family at all?
I've had a couple family members that have come down with COVID, and thankfully nothing severe. Just a couple of them lost their taste and smell. Thankfully, no respiratory problems or issues, and we've been lucky.
And if, looking back a year ago, could you have imagined what was ahead for us?
No, absolutely not. It was obviously new for everybody throughout the world, and I think it's something we're always obviously going to remember. We're going to remember 19 and 20 for sure, and hopefully, like I said, we're turning in the right direction, and we can start to hopefully put some of that bad memories behind us.
Next question's from Eric. Steven, go ahead.
Matt, you were used as a pinch hitter quite a bit 2 years ago, and then last year with a DH, the pinch hitter wasn't really used as much. Do you expect to get more opportunities in that role like this year with pitchers hitting again?
Yeah, absolutely. I predict that it will be a very similar role to 19, and I'll get some starts here and there when some guys need a rest. But looking out on 2021, I do believe that it's going to be a lot similar to 19, where I'm going to come in and hit for the pitcher, and that's also why I worked on some of the stuff I worked on this offseason is being quicker on defense and good first moves, first steps, just so that Doc can trust me out there, and he can put me in left, right, first, or wherever he needs or sees fit that given night, and just giving him that flexibility to not only put me out to pinch hit, but he can also double switch, put me out there, and keep me out there on defense.
You've gotten game action in the outfield quite a bit, but Dave mentioned using you at first and third base as well. Do you still get reps in there during workouts? Yeah,
absolutely. I work with Dino, Clayton, Lark, all the infield guys. We're working on third base and first base every single day, just getting some early work in and making sure I'm fresh over there. That's more of a natural position for me, is being on the corner infield. So I don't have to get as many game reps, I guess I would say, just because I've grown up playing first and third. So that experience is there. It's just about fine tuning the skills before the game and getting my work in with Dino.
Thanks, Matt.
You got time for one more. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, Matt, there's so much depth and talent on this team. Is there any one or two people in particular that have really just caught your eye or that you're really, really impressed with?
We can go all the way up and down our roster and our non-roster invites. Talent that, our front office brings in to this clubhouse is unbelievable. And it's not even just the players, it's the coaching staff, how much they care about each player that's here and want to make them better and bring out the full potential in every single player. So I can't really single out anybody. It's just the environment that we have and the culture that we have in that clubhouse is second to none.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, everybody.